Hey, good morning, everyone. Is my sound coming through okay? Picture? Hey, good morning, Ed. Thanks for inviting me over again today. I appreciate this very much. Great, Ron. Thank you. Thanks, Frank. Okay, so how's everybody doing today? I guess, fair to middling. So here it is, Tuesday, intraday. 11:45 a.m. I mostly did that for the recording. This is being recorded, by the way, and there'll be several places you can pick it up. Several places you can pick it up. We'll try to get it sent out to you as well. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's talk about what the market's up to right now this week and part of last week. We've clearly, and actually let me go to a different chart here. Okay, there we go. So over here last week, we were in a downtrend, but yet price was trying to stabilize here. Okay, so we're still trading in a downtrend, but price is trying to stabilize. What I'm using to determine a downtrend is I ask myself a couple questions. What is price doing in relationship to the T-line? That's this black line, the 8 exponential moving average. And then I ask myself, what is the T-line doing in relationship to what we call the trend indicator? And that's where these red dots over here, the green dots over here. So what are we doing in relationship here? And that's how I get the downtrend. Now, so we gap up yesterday, and we're just sort of kind of stuck in this little trading range right now. Trading range between the T-line and the 50-period moving average right in here. So, I think what's happening right now is, quite honestly, the market is starting to realize there's, way more things going on out there than it can handle. I'm not saying it's going to go just belly up and roll over and get all bearish. I'm just saying that it has to process everything. And that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to process. So far, the market is down today, but it's not down to the point to get all, freaky about it and worried about it. What concerns me is we're below the 50-period moving average. Now, I've said all through here, and I still believe this, that I think there's a very high probability we come down to the 200-period moving average here. Now, certainly not one day, more like this over here. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have relief rallies along the way. Now, where that can be stopped is if we start breaking out over this trend line to the upside. And if you look at the current price action here, if you look at that, you can see we do have a very nice morning star signal here. Very nice morning star signal. And then we rallied up, and all we're doing is consolidating right now. So if we were to take this downtrend out of here and take the 50-period moving average out of here, this chart pattern right here, we would be bullish all day long on it. And it can still turn bullish to the upside. But we need those bulls to step in. So what happens is right now, we're at this area that is very hard to trade. Very, very, very hard to trade. Smart traders know when to back out of the market. And while we're in this real choppy, undecided, rather than constantly be losing money, it might be better for some traders to step out of the market. And I'm, don't feel guilty if you're sitting there right now wondering, well, geez, am I one of those people? Well, just look at your trades the last week or two. And if you've been working your tail off and just I mean, really putting an effort into it, but you can't seem to rub two nickels together and make a dime out of them, then it just might be one of these times to step away. You know, we've got the debate tonight, the first debate. Is that going to make a difference? I don't know. Could it? It could. Might not make any difference in the world. We've got, you know, the whole COVID-19 problems are still out there. And if you ask me, they're not getting any better. And I'm just going by the news. I don't see it getting better. So there's a lot here for the market to process. There's a lot here for the market to work through. And while it's working through that, it could be that it's best not to trade. Now, one thing I do is I'm one of these traders that tends to look for charts that are moving. I like to climb aboard a train as it's rolling. Okay, I don't really like to climb aboard a parked train. I want that train to be rolling, just ever so slightly. I want it to be rolling, and then I'm going to climb up on it. And then what I want is basically I want it to continue rolling, and I really don't care if it speeds up. I just want it to continue rolling. And then at some point, I'm going to jump off that train, and we'll just make this green because that's where I'll take profits right here. But I want that train to be rolling a little bit. And the way I do that is I look for trades that come up on the scanner here. You know, you can have, say, 3/8 traps, okay? I mean, everybody knows that's one of our favorites. I love bouncing off major moving averages. I love that sort of thing. And I've got a couple here. You know, I love the 3/8 trap. And this is a 3/8 trap, but it's moving down, and the train is going the wrong direction. So what I want is when the scanner, and for instance here, there's where I got deer, okay? Didn't make it up. So when I see this train starting to move up, then I will enter that trade when that train starts moving. And say for the trap, there are some things you want lined up no matter what. For instance, you want here, let's do it this way, I guess. You want a trend, okay? Just a trend, that's all you want. And then you want price to have come back. That means somewhere you had to have price higher. And you want price to come back to that trap between the 3 and the 8, right? Once that's set up, all I need to do is be notified when the train starts moving up. And that's what I want to look for, and that's what the scanner does for me. It tells me when that train is moving. The same thing, I like the T-line bounce or the 17 EMA bounce. And you'll see these names up here have changed, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But take FedEx. So FedEx is bouncing off the T-line right here. You see that train is starting to move. Well, I'm getting alerted over here. So when I go look at this chart, then I can make my determination over the overall chart. Do I want to climb aboard that train? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not interested in the FedEx train today. Maybe I don't like yesterday's candle. Maybe the market overall is not doing exactly what I want it to do. Maybe I have a doctor's appointment today. I don't know. And I don't particularly want to trade. But I only want to look at trades where the train is moving in my direction. Okay, thanks, Val. Appreciate it. And that's one of the things I use the scanner for. That's one of my edges in trading. So, you know, so everybody's got their way to do it. I'm not here to try to change anybody. I'm just here to share what I do, and I want to be the first person to let you know that what I do does not work out 100% of the time. There's just not too many people that actually have that kind of success. I see Tesla moving here, so I want to look at Tesla because one of the things we're going to look at today is that we talk about on these Tuesdays is charts we're considering, and I might be considering Tesla. And see how Tesla has rallied up, and then we rested. We rallied up, we gapped up, and that doji, because we closed negative compared to the open, and then see how we opened up lower, that I consider a rest. And when I see a rally, and then I see a little bit of a rest, this is what I'm looking for. And then I'm looking to climb aboard that train and make a little money on the way up. GP says, but the volume is light. There you go, GP. Let's do this. Now we've got no stinking volume. How's that? Now, and I'm kind of serious about that. Look, as I said, I'm not here to do anything other than share what I look for in a trade. That's all I'm here to do. And I don't particularly follow volume. I trade the candlesticks, which is price action. That's what I trade. And if I see buyers here, and buyers here, buyers here, and buyers here, and if I see a trend line like this right here, then what I'm going to do, oh, and by the way, I see a trend up. See that wedge we just made? When I see price start to break out, that's where I'm going to get interested. Volume or no volume. Again, I'm just simply trading the candlesticks. So why does that work out? Why don't I follow the volume? And here's why. I'm a short-term swing trader. That's all I am. I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'll say 2 days, because buy it yesterday overnight makes it the start of a swing trade. So 2 days to whatever. It could be 10 days, it could be 20, it could be 50 days, wherever I want the end to be. Now, my end is when I make money. That's my end, okay? As an example, let's look at NIO. I've been in NIO, and there's a chance that I take some profits off the table because I've made some money, and I'm a little bit reluctant about the market here. I'm a little bit unsure about the market. Now, I'm not here to, I don't want to say you shouldn't follow volume. I will say that if it works for you, if your plan works, if you're, what you're looking for in a trade, if that becomes something that's useful for you, then you should absolutely continue to do it. Okay, does that make sense, GP? Good question, and we're asked about that all the time. But being a short-term trader, volume doesn't play a huge part in it. What were we looking at? Tesla. Volume doesn't make a huge part in it when it's right here at the hard right edge and we have a pullback. Now, when we have a let's say right here, when we have this big volume like that on a breakout, that's different. That, okay, you get to see that volume. But the reality is, you see that breakout there? I would like you to go find me, and I would challenge you to do this, and find me 3, okay, 3, because there is going to be that weird case out there. But you find me where you have a gap like that, where we gap up over some moving averages, and you don't have high volume. The point I'm trying to make is who needs to see the stinking volume? That's my point. How does that really help you in short-term swing trading. So, but if it does, then by golly, keep using it, okay? So anyway, there's my answer to the volume situation. Let's see here. Some trades. Here's some trades. Where are they? Might be considering. CRNE is one I'm considering. Now, this started coming up on the alerts. I forget which alert it was actually coming up on this morning or even yesterday. Well, yesterday would have been a 3/8 trap. But this is one I'm considering buying. Not considering buying it today because I don't want to miss it. I don't want to pay too high for it. That leads us to another conversation maybe that we could have here. Sometimes traders get out there and they overtrade a little bit. You know, they see this chart and they just start buying it because they don't want to miss out. I get that. Believe me, I do. I've been there. As a rule of thumb, when you see a chart up 3 days, you probably don't want to be a buyer unless that third day maybe was part of a consolidation and then starting back up. But when there's no consolidation here, you probably don't want to be a buyer. And what happens is you jump into this and it's left almost every alert that you could possibly imagine, except for a breakout. Now, if you had an alert window here that was just looking for breakouts, well, this would absolutely come into play. But you have to still look at the chart and decide if the chart is worthy. And after being up 1, 2, 3 days, 4 days, plus a gap, plus another gap, you know, you have to wonder, do you really want to be in that trade? And this happens to be up 32% right now. So is this really the trade we want to be in? Well, if you're in it back here, absolutely. But if you're looking to buy it, here's what I'm going to do. I've got this on a watch list, plus it's on my overall watch list. I have two main watch lists. One watch list is the 750 stocks I follow. And the other watch list is what I call a hot list. It just, when I am looking for stocks in the evening or during the day or in the mornings, and if I like it, I'll put it on the hot list. And what I'm waiting for is for this to come back to me. Okay, I want it to come back to me. And what I mean by that is a few of my favorite trades might be the 3/8 trap, the bounce off the T-line, or a bounce off the 17 EMA. So no matter what, looking at this chart, I would have to have this to come back to something about this area right in here is where I'm guessing right now. Now that might, don't count on that area being perfect because I don't know how the pullback's going to show up. But if we start to see that pullback in here, that's about where I'll start looking for it. And that's where the scanner will start alerting me because that's what I've got it set up for. Now, if you want the scanner to be set up for something different, you can certainly do that. Different type of chart patterns, whether you want MACD doing something or Bollinger Bands doing something or price action doing something. Maybe you want it actually below the 17 or below the 20 maybe, and then you want it to reverse back up. There's all kinds of things you can have out there. I'm just sharing what I'm looking for. So this is a chart I'm considering. Beyond Meat, if you guys, if anyone here watched my Saturday morning video I put out with some alerts, and actually this might be a good time. Let me. I'm going to share a link with you here, if I can. Doesn't always work. Let's see if this works. There we go. If you go to my YouTube channel, and that's the don't go right now. Just copy and paste that. You go look for Saturday's video, and this is one that I was looking to buy, and here we moved up, and I put that green band on here, and I was looking between whatever that is, 151 and 154. Well, it moved down yesterday. It did it very well. But I generally do not buy candles like that. Remember, I want the train to be moving in my direction. And this just is not a candle I typically buy. And then doggone it, but look what this thing did today. Now, the chart pattern, to me, it's still a buy. But I've got my own little quirks about buying, just like Terry or SP have their own little quirks about buying. Everybody does. And I just don't generally buy on down candles like that. But I missed out on a great trade. It happens. So I'm looking to buy some BY ND, but again, it's going to have to pull back just a little bit. Okay, so we'll we'll just keep an eye on that. Let me grab some water here. There we go. All right, let me read some of these questions up here. I've got to watch what's going on because I'm also, I'm in the market. I've got positions on. Let's see, Terry, SRNE. Would the scanner have caught that at the candle just before the doji? Let's see. So this candle right here, is that what you speak of? This one? Yeah, absolutely, it would. Yeah, that would have come up on the T-line bounce for sure, and it would have come up on the 3/8 trap for sure. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Or yes, ma'am. Sorry, not sure which one. My wife's name is Terry, and it's spelled with a Y. Okay, let's see. Let's grab another question here. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. I see John's asking, do you buy IPO on the hype? John, I've been trading for 33 years, actually coming up on 34 years, and I've never traded an IPO in my life. Not ever. And I am proud to say that. I am very, very proud to say that. Look, buying an IPO is buying hype. Okay, that's all it is. John, I don't know if you are a seasoned trader or I don't know if you're a rookie trader. I don't know. I don't know if you're successful. I don't know if you're not. So this is not directed necessarily toward you, but it is directed toward your question. Over a year's time, we talk to and see an awful lot of new traders. And they're all giddy about IPOs. I warn them to stay away from them, but nobody listens. So they're jumping up and down about this IPO that's coming out. And I never hear from them again, not ever. And the reason is because they go broke, because I have followed up with these things. And IPOs it's sucker bait for new traders because of all the hype. When you're trading, for God's sakes, you need to see the chart. There is no chart on an IPO. You need to have a chart. You need to see what other traders are thinking. And the IPO, it's just drama. It's not thinking, it's drama. So I'm very much against trading IPOs unless you really have been in the business a long time and you're bored and you've got some money to spend. So, How's that for telling you how I feel about IPOs? Okay. And I don't know, was that a ticker symbol there? DGRX or GD? GDRX. Yeah. Sucker bait. Absolute sucker bait. You're welcome. Is an uptrend IPO. Yeah, look, Henry IPO. That I don't know what IPO ETF is. I have no idea the ticker symbol, but we're not going to take this whole IPO any more conversation with it. Absolutely not. That's not where today's going to go. Okay, so let's leave that behind. Serious traders don't trade IPOs. Serious traders trade stocks that have created some history. Okay. Any other questions? You're right, Frank. Probably safe for trading earnings. Yeah. Any other questions out there? So here's a few trades that I am in. Twitter. Twitter was a buy between $42.57 and $44. This chart was on the Saturday chart. So I bought some Twitter. I'm still looking for about 11% target up here on the chart. This would represent 25-30% maybe on the option if you buy the option. That's what I've done, is bought the option. So I'm still holding it. I'm not concerned yet. I'm right at 10%, so good money there so far in the chart. We'll just see how it goes. We'll see how today actually ends up. Yeah, we'll see how today ends up. Watching these alerts right here, I see apps is coming up, and I'm going to go look at apps. Look at that. Apps. Who in here does not like apps? Anyone does not like it? Be prepared to give you a reason, by the way. I think that's a great looking chart. Apps is coming up on the T-line -10 bounce, and we'll talk about that in a second. We've got a nice trend. Here we've rallied up. We've pulled back. We're in the trap right now. So I'm going to have to put apps. I'm going to come up here and flag that, and I'll have to consider apps maybe toward the end of the day here. Let's see, SEMA, do you use Super Trend? I have no idea what Super Trend is, SEMA. Maybe you can share it with me and I'll tell you if I use it or not. Maybe I use it and I don't know. But I've got no idea what a Super Trend is. I see Kenny's asking, where do I subscribe to follow the Road to Wealth trades? Are you a member of Hit and Run Candlesticks, Kenny? If you are, they're sent to you via your smartphone every time I make a trade. And for those of you that don't know this, but if you are a member of Hit and Run Candlesticks, or for Right Way Options for that matter, whenever I make a trade, I post it in the room in the app section, and instantly you will receive an alert on your phone. Doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be logged into the room. You can be out playing golf. I don't think it'll work if you're scuba diving. Might not work down below. But you'll be alerted. And if you're a Right Way Options member, the same thing will happen if Doug places a trade or closes a trade. He posts it, and you will also be alerted to that trade there. Tom, what delta do you use? Choose a strike price. Here, Tom, let me share that with you. Good question there. I get asked that question an awful lot. And it's actually one of the easiest things in the world to do. So let's take a look at apps, okay? So I'm going to type in apps. And there goes apps. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go 50 days plus. You can see November is 52 days. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to click on this. And then what I'm going to look for next is open interest. and I don't see enough open interest, so I'm not interested in it. Let's go to December. All right. I see some open interest down here. That's doable, and I see a 67 delta. Okay, now here's to your exact question. I look for around 70, around 70. 67 is around 70. That's close enough. The 80 would be okay as well, but I want open interest. Just for fun, I'm going to go check out January. Well, the January 30, see, we've got plenty open interest and a 68 delta. The January 25s, plenty open interest for me, 678, and 79 delta would be okay. Let's go back to that December. I probably like the December option the best, the strike 30. So the December 30s, plenty open interest and a 67 delta. So that's probably the one. If I was going to trade this, that's the one I would look at right there. And that's all I look at. So 1, I go out at least 50 days. 2, I make sure there's open interest. 3, I match that open interest to the delta I want, which is around 70. Okay? And that's it. There just no other quirks to that. Would you buy a breakout? Henry, if the market is in our favor, yes. I also would have no problem buying apps right now. I mean, it came up on my alert, right? It did everything I wanted to do. The chart looks quite well. I have no problem buying it, whether it's on a breakout or even buying it right now. What you've got to do as a trader is you've got to make a few other determinations, like how do you feel about the way the market's going right now? You don't want to buy it if the market is not in your favor. You don't want to buy it just because you haven't bought anything in 3 days, and you're just determined to buy something today. You don't want to buy it for that reason. Okay, so make sure you have all your reasons are good reasons, and not made up reasons or bad reasons. Okay, that's going to be the big thing. Let's see, Kenny, former member of RWO, but not a member now. I made enough in RWO in 2016 to put down a down payment on our house. Congratulations. I've got enough to start trading again. Congratulations, Kenny. I will pass that on to Doug, okay? Very nice. Here, 1 second. I need to go check on my NIO. NIO, holding up. Okay. Let's see, another question here from C. Why do you use TC2000? Because it's the world's best charting package. That's why. Instead of many other charting programs. Because I think it's the world's best charting package, C. It's the charts are clear. They're clean, they're crisp. It's easy to work with. It's not something I started using yesterday. I've been using this for over 30 years. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but I don't even know what they are, but I'm still going to say this is the world's greatest charting package. SEMA, super trend indicator. Sorry, SEMA. I've got no idea what that is. I've never heard of the super trend. I've never heard of the MT4 indicator. That's totally Greek to me. I've never ever heard of that. let's see. Frank says, I've been in the room for 2 months on a trial and have the app on my phone, but have yet to receive the alerts. I would, Frank, maybe in the room we'll talk about that, not right here because we're in a completely different room. But in the room, if you ask me about that, I will help you with that. For instance, yesterday, you should have received, I bought Marvel yesterday, just as it started to break out here, because the scanner was alerting me of that. That's how I got it. So I bought Marvel and I posted it in the room. Today, I bought CZR because it was inside this area. And at the time, it was showing a little bit of bullishness, but it has since turned quite ugly. And I may not be keeping this. But either way, you should have received an alert on it. Don, do you have to be a member of both rooms to get both alerts? Yes. If you're a member of Hit and Run Candlesticks, you're only going to get the Hit and Run Candlesticks alerts. If you're a member of Right Way Options, you will only get the Right Way Options. If you're a member of both, you will receive both. C, 20 times the amount you are going to trade. How's that? You're welcome, Tom. See, how many trades do you normally have on at a time? Could be 2, could be 10. Let me, that good question, and let me explain my answer, okay? Could be 2, could be 10. If I have 2, I'm not in a big rush to get 10, all right? Nowhere in trading does it say you have to have 10 trades on at all times or 20 trades on at all times, okay? So if you have 10 trades on, don't go out and buy stuff up just so you can have your 10 trades or your 20 trades on. So it varies. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 15. Sometimes it's cash. It all depends where I am on trading at the moment. You know, what is the market doing at the moment? For instance, we have this big old debate coming tonight. If I was petrified or nervous, concerned about the debate tonight, I might be in all cash, but I'm not overly concerned or nervous. So there are some things that makes me go down, say, from 10 positions to 2 positions or to no positions. So there, I just want to make that clear that say you like to have 10 and you only have 2, just don't be in a rush to get that 10. How many buy trade alerts, let's see, a month? I don't know, Henry, and that's got nothing to do with anything. I really don't know, Henry. Let's see, what total money? Henry, there's some things you don't know about me. I'm guessing by your questions. So here's the first thing. In 2000, let me get a drink of water. In 2018, January of 2018, I opened up an account to trade strictly options with $5,000. In May of this year, 30 months later, less than 30 months later, I closed that account for $75,000. I owe that to the scanner. I owe being able to do that meant I had an edge. And my edge is live trading alerts scanner here, waiting for the alerts to come to me, okay? Now, let's come to today. So you're asking me how much money I have in the account. Remember I said I closed that account out? Well, I have since opened up another account for $10,000 and I'm only trading $10,000 and my goal is to double it in 12 months. So I've got till September of next year to double that money. And then of course, you know what I'm going to do then? I'm going to double that money. So I'm going to turn 10 into 20, 20 into 40, 40 into 80, so on and so on and so on. So when you ask what percent of total money invested, in each trade, I think you needed to know that history there. I also think you need to know that I've been trading for almost 34 years now, okay? And the account is worth not much more than $10,000 right now. So 10K. I invest somewhere between $800 and $1,300. Now, most people are going to say, on an average, that's 10%. Are you nuts? No, I'm not nuts. I've been doing it for 34 years and I have a proven track record. No, I'm not nuts. And another thing, let's come back to that. So, to your question, that's about what I have invested in each trade right now. Okay. That's not to say that's what you should have. You've asked a question there, a good question, by the way, but your question, it's not one, the answer is not one you should necessarily follow, okay? Because you can't cookie cutter traders. You and I are different traders. You have to trade based on your rules. I'll trade based on my rules, and we both can make money and we both can lose money. So I don't want you to take this away like some cookie cutter type of trading. Well, I'm going to do this because that's what he said. Okay. Very important for you to create your own rules. Most people will tell you only trade 3 to 4% of your portfolio. That's it. Now, I do more than that, but I'm also being quite aggressive. And quite honestly, I can afford to lose $10,000, but I'm not going to lose $10,000. If I invest, excuse me, if I invest 10% of my portfolio into one trade, I'm not going to let that trade lose all that money. So really, at any one time, I'm only risking we'll put 2 to 4. 2 to 4% maybe. That's it. So this is where you as a trader, you've got to sit down, you've got to buckle in, and you've got to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and you've got to write this stuff down. And by the way, if it takes you more than a 3.5 index, 3x5 index card, then redo it, because it all should fit on a 3x5 index card. What I mean by that is you don't need to write reams and reams of rules. Okay? Great question, and thank you, sir. Tom, once you determine to buy, do you just buy or wait for an intraday buy signal? Nope. Tom, if I like the chart, let me see if there's something here. The problem right now is everything is looking a little bit crappy. Here, let's take this GME. By the way, this is coming up on one of my scans. Take GME. If I decide to buy GME, I buy it right here. I don't go into a smaller time frame. I don't look at any of that stuff. I simply buy from the daily chart. I don't try to get all jazzy with it. There's nothing about an intraday chart that can show me that where might be a better buy on this. Here's what's important to remember. When you buy a chart, make sure you know what it can do for you. In other words, have the confidence that it can actually move up. And would you be happy with 20%? I would be. I'd be tickled pink. Okay? So if I like this GME, if I'm in the buying mood right now to buy it, I would buy it right now and wouldn't worry about anything intraday. Let's see here. Let's check a few. You know what? Let me do this. I told you I would explain why this says Bull T-10 bounce. And see, this here says 17-20 bounce. Okay, let me explain these to you, and then PH7, I'll come back to your question. So, real estate for a trader is important. I don't have enough real estate, okay? But then again, if I buy another monitor, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. It would be far to my left, far to my right. It would be on the top. That would break my neck. So it's frustrating. I've got 6 monitors. So I've got to figure out a way to conserve real estate. So one thing I've done is the T line. This is the black line right here. Okay, that's the black line. And the 10, that's the 10 simple moving average. Many times they cross paths. Many, many, many times. So what I've done is I've just simply created an alert that is right here. It says bull user defined price bounce. And notice, well, here, this one is the simple 10. So I've got it marked simple, close price, last price, and there's the 10 period moving average. Well, what I've done is see how I've checked mark or right here, or not true. I checked or. Well, if you come down here and you can see that the bull user defined price bounce, the same as this one, what I've done is I've changed that to the 8 exponential moving average. Okay, 8 exponential. And I've marked or. So this will alert when it's a white candle. I used white and black candles here, so a white candle. I want the bull trend or the 34 EMA to be trending, and I want the 17 EMA to be trending, and I want it to alert on the daily. I've got it marked daily down here. I want it to work on the daily if it's bouncing off of the T line or the 10 simple. And that way I only have one scan rather than 2 scans. So that's a way that I get around real estate, losing real estate. And I've done the same thing with this one right here, except this is the 17 EMA and the 20 simple. So again, a white candle, price bounce, and here's my exponential 17 right there, and here's the other one, and you can see that it's the simple 20-day simple right here. So simple, and that's the 20. So it's what I've done is I've created some real estate for myself. And the 17 and 20 cross paths many, many times, just as the T line and the 10 simple. And when I see those start to alert, then I can go look at that chart and make my final decision based on the chart there. Okay. I wanted to make sure I went through that because I know this might be the first time you guys have ever seen that. So PH7, what's the difference between your methods between the 2 rooms? You know, we could sit here and debate that over and over and over, PH7. And, you know, the 60-day trial, okay? 60-day trial for right-way options, a 60-day trial for hit-and-run candlesticks. They're $49 each. Take the trial. You find out. Because I don't know if I could do it justice. We cross paths in many ways, and in many ways we're different. And trying to explain, I think I would leave so much off the table, and I would probably add so many things on the table that really don't need to be there. So the only thing I can say is for $49, take a trial for one. For another $49, take a trial for the other one. It'd be worth it. That's what I would suggest doing, honestly. Let's see, SP, do you trade a pattern until you become really good at it before you went to another one? Yes. Yes. That is something I highly recommend, SP, is before you get out there and try to trade everything under the sun, learn one chart pattern first. And I see that you like the RBB. That's my favorite strategy right there. Okay, and then went on to a T-line bounce. Yeah, so If you traded I'm not sure if you use the scanner or not, okay? But if you can set the scanner up to look for rounded bottom breakouts, and then you want it bouncing off the T line, right? That's a great idea. I do something similar. I look for rounded bottom breakouts, but I want them in the trap. So I want the trap within the rounded bottom breakout. But the bounce off the T line would be virtually the same thing as a trap. So I happen to think that's a fantastic idea. That's a great way to get nice entries to keep your risk down. I think that's an absolute terrific idea, SP. Let's see, Abdullah. Abdullah, through your 30 years experience on the alert provided, what is the success rate? Abdullah, I don't know. I trade for a living for a long time. I turned $5,000 into $78,000, and my plan this year is to double my $10,000 account to $20,000. I don't know what my success rate is. Good. And like I say, I don't keep track of all that stuff. I don't mark all that stuff down. It works. It makes money. That's my success rate. Okay. Let's see, Al. Can you go inside the LTA that you are using? Which one, Al? Just give me a clue which one, and I'll open it up for you. Let's see, Richard. Considering the 3 requirements to acquire a position, what % of your trades go up to expiration? Let's see. Okay, just a second here. I had to think about what you were asking me. There we go. So let's take NIO for an example, okay? So I'm in the January contract of NIO. NIO, I'm up 15% right now in NIO. I can tell you that I'm not going to take it to expiration. I'm a short-term trader. Even though I buy 50 days plus, in this case it was 100 days out, more than 100 days because I've been in it a week or so, I'm still going to sell it for a profit. Let me come over here, NIO, and bring that back up. So NIO, I'm not going to sit, well, go back behind there again. I'm not going to trade NIO no matter what it does until January. What I'm going to do is if NIO starts moving up, and there is a really, really good chance that I sell my part of my NIO at $21. And that could happen tomorrow. Heck, it could happen today yet. It's possible. It could happen tomorrow or, let's see, or Thursday maybe, right? Well, I'm going to sell some. I'm not going to wait till January. So now to your question. Considering the 3 requirements to acquire a position, what percentage of your trades go to expiration? 0. Absolutely 0. I never trade to expiration. Not ever. I'm here to make money. And when it moves up, I make money. That's my goal. Let's see here. Let's better put this back here now before I forget it. There we go. R is asking, does the Road to Wealth account use stocks and options? Here's what the Road to Wealth account does, okay? I'm going to answer this a little longer than what you're asking, okay? I use a chart. I use price action. I use some moving averages. I use live trading alert scanner, and I think this is my edge right here. And options only. I do not trade stocks. When I started in January 2018, I just do not trade stocks any longer. The reality is, I've never been a fan of options, but I decided to give it a try. Up until January 2018, I've never actually traded an option, to tell you the truth. I've been strictly a stock trader. I did pretty well with it, but I had to have my account mostly invested, and that was a lot of money to have out there. With trading options, I don't have to have near as much money is invested. The account grows 3, 4, 5, 6 times faster. It's no harder. All I trade is simple options, simple directional puts and calls. I wait for the chart to come up on. I wait for the chart to come up on my alert, and then I decide if it's worth a buy. I want to see that train is working, and if I like the way the train is working, if I like the overall chart, then I make the trade. And all it is with options is I'm using the option to leverage my money. It's not hard to do. Let's see, Don, do you scale it up at certain levels? I'm assuming you mean a chart. Not usually. Not usually. When I'm in a chart, and when I buy the chart, and if it moves up to my profit area, then I take those profits. I don't. Here's what I'm not. I'm not an owner of Twitter, and I'm sorry about the dog in the background, guys. I'm not an owner of Twitter, and if Twitter goes up and pulls back, I'm not going to be a buyer of more Twitter and trade it up higher. And if it pulls back, I'm not going to be a buyer of Twitter. I'm not that kind of trader. What I'm going to do is buy Twitter, and when it moves up, I'm going to sell Twitter. All I'm doing is renting it to make some money, and then I'm done. That's it. Okay? That's all I'm doing there. So I don't usually add to positions when they're up. There are times that I will add when they're down. Now that I will do. To give you an idea, Alley. I was in Alley, and then a few days ago, remember when the market gapped down? I got caught in Alley down here. So I had to decide what to do. Well, I wasn't convinced that Alley was going completely south. Excuse me. So I have added to my Alley now, and I've lowered my costs. So Alley just needs to come up a little bit, and I'll be able to either get out of it even or make some money on it. So I will buy on pullbacks, add to, but I rarely add to as it's going up. Let's see, Evelyn is asking, when you place an order, let's say using the daily chart, will you also check? No. Will you check the 4-hour and weekly before entering? No, I do not. No, I don't. If I like the daily, then I buy the daily. Like this MCRB. If I was in a buying mood at the moment, if I like that, I would buy it. It's up 8-ish%. Maybe that might be a little too much for me to buy. I would rather take this chart and wait for an inside day. But if I like it on the daily, I tend to buy it. Hang on 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. So, Evelyn, no, I don't. I simply, I trust the scanner, and I know what I want. And that's one of the keys, by the way. You have to know what you want, and then you tailor the scanner to do what you want, and that's all you look at then. You don't worry about what Tom, Dick, and Harry's doing. You worry about what Evelyn is doing. And if Evelyn likes to see rounded bottom breakouts, for example, then only look for rounded bottom breakouts. If you want to look for inside days, well, look for inside days. Within a trend or something like that, or the trap. And that's all I do. I focus on bounces off the T-line, bounces off the 17. I focus on the trap. I focus on rounded bottom breakouts, that sort of thing. Inside days, I love inside days when they when they're say it's a trap, it broke out of the trap, and then it's an inside day the next day. I love that type of setup. So just focus on what you want, and then allow that scanner to make it work for you. Are they pre-configured? Yes and no, Don. There are, good Lord, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many scans are possible. I think it would blow me away if I actually knew. But what there are is, if you go to the main application and you click on this down arrow under pre-configured alerts, here's a list of pre-configured alerts right here. That is a great place to start. And then on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, I think at 2 p.m. Eastern, Ed will be right here in this room, and he does a lot of technical stuff. I don't get too much into the technical business of this. I don't understand it. I just understand the scans. But he can help you set different things up, and I can certainly help too. A little bit if if you're wanting it to do something, I can do a fair amount. But Ed he can really guide you through anything. But here are some terrific scans right here that all you do is click on them, and yeah, that's all you do. You name it, whatever you want to name it, and they're ready to rock and roll. Let's see, Henry, for LTA, do you need to subscribe to TC2000? No, sir, you don't. You can use, in fact, you don't even have to be a stock trader if you don't want to be. If you just want to see, ticker symbols come up, that would be perfectly fine. So you can use Thinkorswim, you can use TC2000, you can use Schwab, in whatever you want to use. Point is, no, you don't have to have TC2000. Not at all. Let's see hang on a second. Ow, I have a cramp in my leg. With the higher open interest, do you try to buy between the bid and ask spread? I always try to buy the mid price. Always. Try to buy the mid price. A lot of times what I have to do is go a penny or two above the mid price, but that's what I look for. Yeah. PH7, are most technical patterns and time frames the same in both rooms? I really preach your wisdom and simplicity. PH7, I'm not going to pick for you. I can't help you with that. We cross paths in our trading in many, many, many ways. And in many, many, many ways, we are very, very different. Here's the one thing I will say, and then you're just going to have to belly up, spend the $49 and figure it out, okay? I'm not going to get into any option conversations with you because I am not a super duper options whiz-bang wizard, where Doug is. Doug is a super duper whiz-bang option wizard. And if you want to talk about something other than directional puts and calls, that's where you want to go. If you're into Batmans and butterflies and monsters and tweaks this and that and the other thing, well, you might want to go over there, okay? Let's see, Al. I'm not sure what that's for, Al. No worries, PH7. But that was SP's idea. Great on entries you mentioned a minute ago. Okay, I'm not sure what that's for, really. Let's see, Justin. I'm curious how you determine your profit zone for the LB trade. Okay, all right. how many different ways can you figure out a profit zone? All right, this is a good question, and yeah, this is a very good question. And by the way, I'm still bullish LB here. I like LB. This is one I'm watching and waiting for. And if that train would just give me a little hint here, maybe tomorrow. I don't think it's going to give me it today, but tomorrow I'll hop that train. So how do you figure up here, right? Here's a monthly chart. I'm going to go to a weekly chart. There we go. So there's only a few ways you can really figure some upside potential. My favorite is to go to a longer term chart and then go over here and look where price has been before. Look for peaks and valleys. So that's one way right there. And this is my favorite right there. Another way that a person can do it is you can use fib lines. Where's the fib lines? They changed this over here. Must be this maybe. Yep. You can use fib lines if you want, and that gives you some ideas of possible target areas here using those fib lines. Another way is to use pivot points. This is also a way you might do that. So let's put pivot points up here. And let's go to a weekly chart. You can see how the pivot points rise. Go to a 6-day, 7-day, 8-day, 9-day. Well, there we go. Pivot points really popped up there. That might be one way you can do it. Let me get rid of this. Another way, and I've done this before, is I've taken, price. Here's price right here. And then move this up 10, 12, 15%. How's that right there? There are several ways you can do it. You're going to have to find what way works best for you. My favorite way is to go to a longer time frame. There's an 8-day, just so we can see this better. That looks pretty clear to me. That looks just as clear as can be. Now, it can go higher. I'm not saying it can't go any higher, but I'm happy with that money right there. If I enter this, and let's just say we get in the middle, I'm perfectly happy with 18%. I'd be tickled pink. And I'll bet you that everybody in here would be too. Bet you $100. Let's see, Abdullah, LTA designed to suit trader strategy. However, as a newbie, it is a little bit confusing for me to choose which better combining strategy. However, the ultimate is profit. Could you suggest to me an ideal LTA for profit? I would say start with the trap. Absolutely start with the trap. I think the 3/8 trap is one of the best that's out there. Look at CHRW here. That's the 3/8 trap right there. And you can filter through all kinds of scans you want, but the scanner gives it to you on a platter. It just, there you go. Right there. Nike, 3/8 trap. There you go. So that's what I would trade until you get comfortable, and then you can go to something more. Hey, Malcolm. I mean the amount in each trade, 800 to 13. Do you scale it up? Well, I see what you're asking, Don. Sometimes I can only buy, a lot of times with a small account, you can only buy one contract. And if I really want that stock, I will pay that 1,500. But outside of that, I do try to keep my total trade per position between $800 and $1,300. Thank you, Evelyn. Let's see, Tom, do you help members understand good defined strategies, bounces, breakouts, etc., the setting up? Yes, Tom, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I want you to succeed. So, uh, if I didn't care about you succeeding, I would never share the scanner with anyone. I'd make it mine if that's all I wanted to do. But I want you to succeed. I want you to I want you to become a good trader. And so I'm going to share whatever tools I have. And if there's a new tool tomorrow that I think is the greatest thing going, well, I'm going to share that with you. And with that, we need to call it a day pretty quick here. Let me grab some of these, and then I want to share another scan with you guys. Um, let's see, share an inside day. Richard, an inside day it's just an inside day. That's all it is. Say you have a bullish day, and then you have an inside day. That's all it is. Inside day. It's a Hiromi, is what it is. Inside day is a Hiromi. You have one candle, and then you have an inside day here. Pretty easy. Let's SP. No, you don't have to be a member of Hit Run Candlesticks or Right Way Options. In fact, I think there's several. I don't know. There's quite a few people actually that are not members. It's open to the public for anybody that wants it. Yeah. Let's see here, Henry, in your 4 window. By the way, I have about 30 of these windows, not just these 4. Okay, I have different things I'm looking for. Let's see, in your 4 windows, the stocks may change every few minutes. Do you need to scroll down each window to check the chart pattern where it may replace with another stock later? Yeah. If I want to go down here and I want to look at all those, you can certainly do that. They still meet the criteria. At the time they were printed, they meet the criteria. I just noticed Roku. I haven't seen that one on this one today, but maybe. So Roku, as long as it creates a new high today, it's going to keep alerting in here. Now, tomorrow, it won't alert in this window because it'll be too far away from the T line and the 10 simple. So, it may be on another window, a different type of a chart pattern. But if you want to go back and look at these, nothing's wrong with doing that. You can go back and say, well, hey, MCRB, when we first looked at it, it was up here. I didn't like it up here. Well, I might like it on this pullback. So, absolutely. Go back and look for those. And I do that, yes. Let's see, Thomas, in a period of consolidation like now, is it better to wait for the market to resume its uptrend before going long? Yes. Yep. Yep. There are thousands and thousands of traders that won't be here tomorrow because they refuse to wait and they think they have to trade today. And tomorrow there'll be thousands of traders come in for all those people that just lost all their money. Yes, I think the market needs to either decide is it going to be long or short. Right now is a very choppy time. Thank you, Justin. Thanks, Abdullah. PH7, we'll save that for the next one. We're running out of time today. What is the 3/8 trap? Thank you, Papa Joe. Appreciate it. Kenny, great room to you. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. Great insight and message. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Can you please post the link to the latest offer? Here, do this right here. I'm going to post a code in here for you. Use that promo code and you'll save 50%. Paul, thanks for using the tip. Or, yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it, Paul? So you have to have 2 selected. You just have to have 2 selected, So it's either going to alert because of this or because of this. Everything else will stay true. Everything else will stay true. I want it, to alert either this or that. Yeah, that's a really neat thing, and I like it. I like it a lot. You're welcome there, Tom. Appreciate it. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, hey, look, I want to point this one out for you guys. This is a nice alert. Okay, one of my favorite chart patterns is where we pop, we rest, and pop. Okay, now this can be one day, second day, third day. It could be longer. It could be multiple days. It can be like that. But if you're looking for the 3-day move, just take a look at this Fig Newton alert. And it's titled Fig Newton. It's easy to do. But it's where you have an up day, a rest day, and an up day. NVIDIA, there we go. Up day, rest day, up day. Now, your choices, everyone here's a trader, so you have choices. Do you buy on the down day here, or do you buy on the up day here? You have choices. Every trader is going to be a little bit different. I'll tell you this, what I kind of like is when we break out of that second day. Unless it's a good down day. Let's see if I can find one. PTON, Piton. Now, see here, up day, rest, up day. This would have been a great day to buy. That's a good, solid inside day. Somebody asked about an inside day. That's a good inside day right there. Let's see what else we have. CRM, up day, rest day, up day, right? So on this chart, what I see is we've come from the bottom with a morning star. We're over the T-line and the 17 or the trendicator. I probably would not have bought this day, but here we are pulled back now. This to me is a buy right here. Your risk is very small with great reward. Not too many on, Mara. Up day, rest day, up day. This is starting to get interesting right here, isn't it? Anyone like that? Anyway, this is a nice alert. Look at that. This is a great alert right here. Yeah, a real nice alert. So anyway, that's something. Those of you that have the scanner, you might want to take a look at that. For those of you that are interested in getting the scanner, this might be one you want to load up. It's a nice little scan out there that does a great job. So anyway, all right. Hey, let's call it a day. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. We'll get this recording sent out to you. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you very much for being here. And we'll see you next time, okay? Thank you.